right. Welcome, everybody. Hello, everybody. All right, let's wait for a few people to join in. Welcome to this amazing webinar. I am your
Welcome.
host, Noah. I've got Tayo, delectable Tayo on the call today. Hi,
Welcome,
Tayo.
everyone. Welcome. Hi, Noah. Good morning, everyone. From wherever you're joining from, good morning, good day to everyone tuning in today. I hope
Yeah,
that everyone is doing super amazing and super pumped for today's session as we are. So please share this link with someone. I'm sure there are people in your connection that would benefit from today's session. So please share
yeah,
with them. Let them know we are about to jump on the flight. We're about to
yeah.
take off, and you
This,
definitely do not want to miss out on this.
this is super, right? Because we're going to be taking a lot of personalized approach in this one.
Absolutely.
Where we
Absolutely.
would like to hear from you as well. Like, what are you struggling with? What do
Yes.
you what do you want some answers for? But we'll get into like sharing some of the agenda for today, and then we will give you opportunity to ask us questions. Today is
Yeah.
personalized strategy to help you secure that amazing business analyst job, project management job, a job that will genuinely change your life. And that is what we're about. But by way of introduction, my name is Noah. If we're just meeting, I'm a career coach. I'm focused on helping immigrants build skills
Yeah.
and monetize the skills. And for me, I have a personal mission to ensure that people genuinely don't get less than their worth, meaning I want
Absolutely.
to optimize for six-figure salary, so $100,000 minimum, and I'm very passionate about that too. Being able to support people to ensure that they are optimized for that. I genuinely believe that you can get a lot of opportunity. You can, secure even more 120,000, 130, 140,000, 150,000 plus,
Yeah.
right? As long as you have the skills, as long as you have the experience, and that is what we always preach here. So if you're just joining, welcome. If you're just meeting, welcome. My goal is to have a world where Africans are, you know, thriving and prospering, because we know that a lot of people are stuck, are frustrated, in the current job. They feel like they can do more, they can be more. But unfortunately, the system has so many challenges that you need to navigate, and it's tough. Sometimes it's very challenging to navigate those issues. But what we want to share is a message of hope that
Yeah.
genuinely we can help you with strategies, because we've helped so many people, in the last couple of years navigate issues, challenges. And I've got my delectable Tayo here, my colleague, who would also be sharing amazing tips. Trust me, this is a free session, but oh my, the value from this session can genuinely change your life, and we don't say that lightly. So welcome, get your coffee, relax, and let's crack on. Tayo.
Absolutely. So, welcome everyone once again, and thank you for spending your Saturday with us. If it's still Friday, wherever you're at, thank you so much for spending this session with us. So, pretty much around what we wanted to set up, but if we're just meeting, my name is Tayo, and I am very much passionate in ensuring that gradually, slowly, every single day, we'll be able
Yeah,
to reduce the underrepresentation of blacks, browns, immigrants generally in the corporate space, especially in the tech space. And I want to look around and see people that look like me. Just beyond even that, also ensuring that you can genuinely work in jobs that fire you up. There is
yeah,
absolutely no point working in a career where you're just surviving or you're just managing or you're simply there because that's what you've been pitched to, as this is what immigrants will do in the country. So if you fall in that box, I want to say to you that there is hope, because I was once in your shoes, and it at some point felt like maybe this is truly what we do, and maybe we all kind of have to settle in low skilled jobs, right? But that is not true. There is certainly an opportunity in there. There is a lot of things in there that you can do, so
Yeah.
long you are ready. And today's session is going to be focusing on something a bit more personalized to you. So I really want to hear from you. We would love to learn a bit more from you as well. What your journey is, what are some of the constraints that you've experienced, what are some of the stumbling blocks, and let's have a broad conversation and see how we can solve and really manage things. But if you're in a place where you can chat with us, please leave us a message. Let us know your name, where you're joining from, where you're hoping to get out of this session. I think that's super important. So please, if you're in a place where you can pretty much leave us a message, please make use of the group chat and let us know what your name is, where you're joining from, and what you would love to get out of this session.
Yes. So please, we'd like to have a feel of where you're joining from. So just tell us, my name is, I currently do X, if you want to share that. And then I'm joining from Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, the UK, Canada, wherever, just tell us. We'll be so glad to have a feel of the audience. So thank you so very much. And if you're just joining today, we want to share personalized strategies to help you secure amazing job in tech. And we've talked about some of the issues, some of the challenges that you as immigrant, we are very immigrant focused. Um, because we're immigrant ourselves, we face all of these challenges ourselves, and we know it can be hard, we know it's difficult, we know it's tough, right? And we're saying that there is hope, right? Because some people are lacking that at the minute. They are like confused, they don't know next step. So it's very important for us to know that this is a message of hope, in not saying that there are opportunities for you. There's a way you can position yourself and begin to get opportunities to change your life. We've helped so many people change their life in the last couple of months, last couple of years. I'm saying months because even more recently,
It's very fresh.
yeah, it's very fresh. We've got lots of people that are, fresh on our mind, fresh offers. Even
Yeah.
yesterday, we still got job offers, and that is a changed life effectively. So, what we're saying here is that a lot of possibilities happen when you are aware. Like, you don't know what you don't know. And when you don't know what you don't know, what happens?
You can't do
Yeah,
nothing.
you can't position, and the name of the game is simply for you to position for opportunity, right? The difference between people that are successful and people that are struggling is in the information, is in the skills, is in the experience that they have,
Yeah.
right? So it's super important for us to engage and make sure that we are positioning ourselves for opportunities of the future. I'm not here to scare you, but regardless of your career, your industry, now you must be focused on one thing, which is upskilling, right?
Yeah.
United Nations talked about the fact that by 2030, we all need to upskill. We must continuously upskill. And tech is going to change every facet
Everything.
of life. We hear AI all the time, but we're just here to bring message of good news that please, there's a lot of opportunities for immigrants. There's a lot of skill shortage. Like if you go on Seek now at the minute, you see thousands of jobs. And more importantly, we want to set that tone that you have the skills already. You've
Yeah.
got the skills, you've got the experience that you can leverage. But what you need to do is to have the right information, to be able to position yourself for the opportunities of the future. So I'm super glad, I'm super excited to go on this journey with you all today. So welcome, Setu. We would again like to hear from you. Where are you joining from? Leave us a comment. Thank you, T, joining from the UK. Yeah, okay, prosper to get into tech. That's super important. All right. So we're gonna get into. Can you hear me?
It's
Are
a
you?
little bit it's a little bit quiet, Noah. Could you maybe perhaps adjust the microphone so it's nice and louder?
You go. Not sure.
Yeah.
Can you
It's
hear me, right?
yes, that's heaps better. That's
Okay.
heaps better.
Yep. Let's crack on then. All right. T, thank you, Natasha. Thank you so much for joining. Please, we would like to read more comments. Super important for us to have a feel. But let's get started. Higher. Let's talk about why your time is your greatest asset, right? And a
Yeah.
lot of people actually don't really gain appreciation that our time is our life energy, right? It's important for us to guide that and make the best use of our time. So how do we reconcile that?
Absolutely. So, thank you all again for connecting to today's session. We do believe and strongly believe that a very good place to start is always to deal with the root cause. So, if you don't understand the benefit of what you're getting into, it's hard to connect to it. And we say it from our perspective, and even a lot of people that we've been able to support, people work ranging from people working in the care sector to surgeons, etc., to be able to navigate in the tech space. One thing has always been super profound in the fact that a good number of us right now in the career that we're working or where we currently work right now, it is based on you have to put in the time. So pretty much you're in a position where you are trading your time for money. But what we want to gradually move into a more value oriented career path, meaning it's not necessarily driven by you need to work 8 hours before you deliver value. We
Yeah.
are focused on the work that you're doing, even if it's 10 to 15 minutes. That's the value for the day. And that is worth millions and worth a lot of money, right? So that's what we need to work on. So, what do I mean by trading time for money? Someone may ask, and what's the importance of that? It's really what are some of the things that you do right now on your job, right? Or even just generally in the career that you are right now, career that requires you to physically be present. You can't really do things except you're there. Job, you can't really add a lot of value except you put in the hours. And when you think about some of the disadvantages that come to that, it's enormous. It's enormous. So we say, why not explore other career paths in terms of what you want to be doing, and you put yourself where you're slowly or gradually actually getting paid based on the value that you provide, not necessarily based on the time that you put in the work, not based on the time that you put in the work. It's about the value. So it's about I come to work today. We are working on this particular initiative. Do you want to go back to the other slide? We're working on this particular initiative, and this is what you're meant to be doing. Right now, everyone is comfortable spending 16 hours trying to make money. And people would say, I'm talking especially particularly if you're working in the care sector as an example, what you need to do is for you to even earn six figures in that path, you need to
Yeah.
put in a lot of the hours. So that could range from you having to work Monday to Sundays. And no offense, if you genuinely do love it, but the message is for people who feel tired or people who are not fired up working, having to put in all of that time for them to be able to look after themselves, for them to be able to look after their family members, as an example. Why should I have to work 16 hours every single day just so I
Yeah.
could bring home a six-figure job, when genuinely, if I upskilled and increased my earning power through acquiring knowledge, I could find myself in just one single job, Monday to Friday, and bring home upwards of 120, 130. Particularly for me, I do not even sit in that bracket. I sit in something higher. And you may say, oh, maybe she's bragging. No, I'm not. It's simply the truth. It's not bragging when you're saying the truth. right? So what I'm trying to say is we all need to avoid being in a career path where we are required to put in all of the time for us to make money, where we are required to include Sundays or include public holidays for us to bring in that extra money. And the good thing is, I say to people, the outcome that you're looking for is literally in that work that you're running away from, is in that
Yeah.
work that you're flying away from. What do I want to do? Okay, what do I currently do for work right now? Okay, I work in a career where I kind of need to work Saturday and Sunday for me to be able to successfully or comfortably look after my family. And even that comfortably, I say, well, according to I read a really nice book by Felix, and it kind of broke down like the all cardinals of wealthy people. And I said, oh, actually, a lot of us are still like comfortably poor as it is right now. And we're trying to move up the ladder gradually. And I know it's all still like in the employee loop, but
Yeah.
slowly it is important that we pivot into a career path where we don't need to put in all of the time for you to bring in substantial money for you to be able to look after your family. And I know, yes, the big thing is, oh, I'm really scared. I have done this before. I have done it. Wait. Some people say, oh, but I make a lot of money. I ask you, how many jobs do you have to do to make that money? How many? And I say, well, I'm working three different jobs. I say, well, see, that's the problem. You
Yeah.
have to, so people even miss notable event of their children or even of their family members. Why? Because they need to put in all the hours. And you can't blame them because the bills do not stop. So the premise of our message today and why we decided to start from this is to open your eyes to see what you're doing. Yes, you have to work 2 to 3 jobs, you're making all this money. I'm saying to you, why toil so hard when you can genuinely have one single job that even allows you to innovate more, one single job that allows you to focus on other parts of your life that fire you up, one single job that gives you enough time to self-study, to learn other things, explore, and actually see what you're capable of doing. So those
Yeah.
things are super, super important. My question to you is, are you more scared of the power and potential that you can genuinely have within of you, or rather than you staying the same? You
Yeah.
have the power, you have the potential, you just haven't tapped into it. And that's why we have sessions, and that's why myself and Noah and the team we wake up every single day to tell you you do not need to just survive in the country. You do not need to just survive in the country. Meaning, I'm just doing the job for the bills. No, you can't do that for 5 years. You can't just be doing a job just to pay the bills. You need to move into something that genuinely fires you up. And we always say something on this platform. Tech may not even be your own pathway,
Yeah.
right? Tech may not even be your own pathway. It could be something else. I'm saying, please do not be scared. Do not be afraid of your own power and potential and then decide, well, I'll just stay in what I know. People say things like the devil is better. That's not always true. That is not always true. You need to step out of that zone and explore some other angels because you just don't know what lies in there until you open the can. You don't know how much worms you've got in there. You can take a guess, but you don't know. I know that sounds a little bit morbid, but what I'm trying to say is the result that you want is in the work that you're avoiding. We
Yeah.
all can do this. And again, this session, if you're just joining, this session is going to break down for you what you can do. So please leave us a message in the group chat. Thank you, Sheila. Thank you, Tolu. Thank you, Emma. Thank you all. Please leave us a message. So leave us your questions. I can see Emma's question. We'll address your question very shortly. But let us know what are some of your burning desires. What's the storming block for you in relation to exploring the tech space? And we'll definitely answer something personalized to you in this session.
Thank you, Tayo. That was super important. I'd like to share a story as well, just for us to understand the importance of time. So, until a few years ago, when I started, I stumbled on a book called Buy Back Your Time. I love the book so much. And then in that book, what made me actually get the book was the fact that we were supporting a lot of people, of course, just this way, transitioning and everything. And it's so much burnout for us. Like we work like 14 hours because there's people with different needs. We're very intentional about it because the way we an approach we actually support people is not just for you to sign up to a training and you just get theory and all of that and that's it. No, there's a tailored support approach. And of course, it's not sustainable when you're supporting hundreds of people. And there's how many people do you genuinely can serve in a single day? But beyond that, understanding time is super important. Some people think they have eternity to do things. We procrastinate the important things that we see that are very difficult to do. We avoid them. And sometimes those things are the things that move the needle. Those things are the things that would give you the best ROI. Those things are the things that will genuinely change your life. But beyond that, I would, for example, even the simple everyday things like shopping. Tayo will remember. We would see, oh, Costco is actually offering a deal, right? Costco is selling cheap things in bulk. And I'm like, okay, let us drive 45 minutes to go and save a few pennies or few dollars on some items. So we buy in bulk, right? We will spend 45 minutes of our time going and coming, like 2 hours on the road to go to a Costco shop to buy things in bulk, right? Right? Buy things in bulk just because we wanted to save a few pennies here and there, but we didn't calculate what is the value of that time we spend on the road. For example, 2.5 hours. Sometimes our 2.5 hours is worth more than if we wanted to just calculate our day job. Our 2.5 hours is already worth more than the savings we're going to make. And the worst thing was the fact that when we buy in bulk, then we realized that, oh my God, we didn't actually need this many things. Some of them they're expired, and you've like wasted so much money. So the cost saving that we even thought we're saving, like it's not even true. In that instant, upon reflection, I realized that, oh my God, I am actually suffering from scarcity mentality. It's in everything that I'm doing. And I actually sat down and had to redesign my life, right? When I make some money, I keep them in the bank. I'm very like, I keep them in the bank, like I'm more saving oriented rather than investment oriented. Why? I've seen that is also as a result of my reaction, PTSD, of my upbringing. We didn't always have steady flow of money and everything. There are times where we had money and times where, as an entrepreneur, you don't have stable income every single month, every time. So up and down, up and down. For me, my safety reaction to that is that I need to keep a lot of money in the savings account and all of that for security, for emergency, for all those things, which is okay. But when I'm super laser focused on keeping money, so I will spend time to save money, right? Because I don't want to lose money. So I will do washing of my car myself. Even though when I'm done washing the car, I need like 2 hours sleep because that's drained my energy. I would buy all the equipment to do mowing the garden and all of the other things, like, and I will need 2 days to recover because it's so strenuous, So when I calculate the time I'm spending to recover, I saw that, wow, I'm actually wasting so much time. I can pay $60, $70 here and there to get somebody that loves that job and that's their job. Do it better than I would do it. And even if I'm not resting in that time, it is already value for me. I will be able to think more, expand more, do more strategic things, right? I love cooking. Sometimes when I cook, but I realize I spend so much time in the kitchen.
Yeah.
There's a lot of precision for me. I love cooking. I'll spend so much time in the kitchen, right? And then when I'm done cooking, I need 2 hours to
recover.
Yeah, but I still love doing that. But what I'm getting at is we need to get to a deeper understanding of what our time is worth. How many of you have
Absolutely.
sat down and said, what is my 1 hour actually worth?
Worth. Yeah.
Like, and then if I'm doing some things that I can just delegate or give somebody else to do it for me and pay them less than I'm worth per hour, you have already won. And even me
Absolutely.
just using that time to rest, to think about my
To
life, to stop,
recalibrate.
to
Yeah.
recalibrate, to improve my value, you have already won. So those book, mentor, appreciating my time, changed my perspective. Growing up
Absolutely.
professionally, I didn't know why CEOs would have driver, chef, people doing their chores, all of that. I'll be like, why can't they just do it themselves? I don't want people in my kitchen. I don't want, oh my God. When I realized that, wow, I've been thinking about time the wrong way, then I know that, I would rather spend time to get somebody wash my car, mow my grass, do some of the things, do some furniture work, hang my artwork, than for me to spend it on buying clothes, another clothes. I have clothes that I wear, right? I have shoes. I have many things that I'm not even wearing. But you need to start to think about living a rich life. But you need
Absolutely.
to understand the importance of time before any of these things can make sense. Which also
Super.
go into the fact that is the job you're doing just sucking your time, or is it giving you leverage? Is it firing you up? The system here as an immigrant, it is structured in a way where they reward you for that inconvenience. They will reward you. They structure in a way where you do night shift when people are supposed to sleep and recalibrate, and your immune system, your organ, every part of your brain, every part of your body, they rest and regenerate. You're not taking rest. What are you doing? Right? You're working, active night, whatnot, because you want to chase one part of your life, financial, success. And by the way, it doesn't even guarantee success. That extra shift you spend during public holiday, weekends, when you're supposed to be relaxed, spending time with family, right? Moments that are precious that you can't get back. You can always make money when you increase your skills. You can't get back that time. So calculate just think about how much time you have. Do you want to spend it just chasing, being in the rat race of chasing more money, more shift, and all of that? Or do you want to have a reflection and say, why can't I just focus on, you know, building skills that will change my life? So I want us to reflect on that as we go today. Taya?
Nah, phenomenal. Like phenoms. Like it's the other day I posted a video on TikTok and a lot of people were like coming for me like, oh, why would you say something like that? Please ignore her. It's because she has a lot of money, all that, all that. Just I'm like, you all need to educate yourselves on the importance of time. Why should you work or do tasks that do not fire you up when you can genuinely spend that time on something else that is more valuable to you or to the people in your life? Right. So the whole point of what we're trying to say here is whether it is in your career, whether it is even in your day to day, and that's why we launched a platform called Oloja Hub as well. Oloja Hub helps you to buy back your time. Really helps you to give out those tasks that you do not enjoy to people that actually love it, and that's their own calling. That's their work. That's the thing that you do, and you would spend that time doing something a bit more productive in your life, i.e., reading, i.e., even just resting and looking in the sky. One thing I know that most immigrants do not do enough in this country is rest. A good number of us do not rest enough, and it's time to stop that. It is time to stop that. Going through that unspoken irony, which genuinely this does make me sad when I think about it. And this is just a question and food for thought for every single person watching, is that when you look around the aged care or the disability sector, you seem to find there are so many talented people over there. There are so many people who have got enormous skills. There were people who were doing super amazing back wherever they came from. So, be it being an accountant, or be it being a doctor, or teaching, or doing any of those. Even some people had like really great businesses that they were doing. But of course, when you come into the country, you have to settle, especially if you're coming on a student visa, which can be tough due to some of the restrictions on that visa. But research has shown that that sector does have one of the best migrant talent. Because you see people who, when you speak to them, they tell you, "Oh, when I was in Nigeria, these were the things I did. When I was in Kenya, this was my life and this was what I did. But I had to settle." And you can see the sadness in their voice. You can see how much they feel like they've let themselves down. I was talking to a lady the other day, and it's been really hard for her to actually reconnect back to her old self. She had such a really good life, according to her, back in Nigeria. She has already gotten to the pinnacle of her career, managerial roles, and all of those things. And now she's in Australia. She's having to work in jobs that she genuinely does not like. And she's going through that phase of, is this me now? Is this truly my life? And
mm,
that is super, super sad. That is really sad. And the question is, why do we think this is happening? A good number of times it's lack of knowledge. And again, this is why we've got sessions like this to educate and provide that awareness that, hey, please, let us stop the rumors that you cannot work in the corporate space, or you cannot start your business, or you cannot find another career in tech, that you need to settle in working in jobs that you do not like, that you need to settle to work in careers that you do not, you just did it because someone told you at the airport, go and get all of these certificates, whatever, 435, and all of those things, you got it, and you fall into that loophole. I know it because I was once in that space of life as well. Coming into the country, it was so weird for me because I didn't even know you could work when I came to Australia. I didn't even know, like, so that was, I didn't know a lot about migration at the time. I was one of those girls, parents would want you to travel, they just put all of the processing, and yeah, you find yourself in Australia. So for me, I didn't even know that you could work. To be honest, I didn't even know what in permanent residency or citizenship were. Those were not my concern at that point in time. I just wanted to study and then go to another country and start hopping from one country to another. I didn't really have that sense of purpose at that time on what my migration journey would look like. Right. So again, coming into the country as well, it was pretty much everyone. That was what everyone was pitching to me, and I remember I sat down for a second thinking, "Oh wow, I didn't know any of those things about migrating." So I always thought, "Oh, I thought I would find myself working in a really nice company, Eagle Street kind of vibe." But it turns out people that look like me they do not even attempt to work in sectors like that. Almost as though it is impossible to even dare dream to do that. Like, it is impossible to even dare dream to be in like any like top positions, like a manager or director or anything like that. It was almost impossible. And for me, it was, yeah, really, really sad. I'm still sad up until this moment because I know that there are still people who still live in that bubble, who still think, how dare you, as an immigrant, aim to work in any other sector other than age care or disability, because it's impossible. The good news is that is not true. Please, that is simply not true. If you learn, if you upskill, acquire knowledge, you can be just about anything that you want in Australia.
yeah.
And the best part, guys, is it doesn't even require you to have any prior experience in IT. You do not need to have any prior experience. What you need, however, is to acquire the knowledge now, starting from this moment. Get skills. When you get skills, organizations will run after you. When you have the skills that they're looking for, they would be the ones to run after you. I just want us to deep this for a second on why this is so, and why the people in your connect, even if you think about it more deeply, you find out at least the average, think about 30 people in your connection, maybe 20 or 25 of them are working in jobs that generally they're just surviving. They started doing it since they were on a student visa. Now they're Australian citizens, they're still doing the same things. And we want to change that,
Mm,
specifically for people who want that change, specifically for people who want out of it or do not know how to. So please continue to drop your questions. We'll address them as I go. I think T says, my current block currently is I don't even know in what way I want to pivot and upskill for the benefit of all the things you've been saying, Tayo, about sacrificing so much time and physical strength. Really, 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 really great question there.
Mm.
So, talking, just sharing a little bit about my journey and how I figured out what part of tech do I need to explore. Okay. So, for me, just like a lot of people had questions, do I need to learn how to code to have a successful career in tech? Do I need to learn how to write the programming languages? Because it does scare a lot of people, and which is okay. Okay, so there are different parts of tech that you can explore. The ones we're going to be talking about specifically today are the no code tech roles. And you may wonder, oh, what does that mean? What's no code tech roles? It's really the sides of tech where all you're required is to come in with your strong soft skills, the skills that you already use today, your everyday skills. I'm sure, T, you have probably planned an event before. I'm sure you've probably decided if you're married or you've got married friends, you've probably said, oh, let's plan a baby shower for my friend, or you've been a part of that committee. You've used a lot of skills in there. Your everyday skills like settling conflict, how to manage how to manage difficult situations. You've been in a place where maybe someone accused you of doing something, you've settled it amicably. You've been in a situation where your friend has called you and be like, oh, I have an issue with this person, I just need your opinion. You've been able to advise them. That's your conflict resolution skills. You've been in a place where you thought, how about you how about don't apply to the student visa? How about you try to apply to the employer sponsored visa, provided a better option or alternative to someone? I'm sure you've probably done some of those things at some point in your life. Now, these are the normal skills that you think are normal skills that someone, my boyfriend at the time, saw in me and decided, wow, there is no way we are going to allow these skills stay inside of you without leveraging them and making them become your earning power. And that's pretty much how I got into the tech space. I used to plan events for people. I used to delve into catering as well. I'm the one, I bring people together, let's just have some fun. In this country, everyone just works. So I bring people together and plan something out genuinely from start to finish, right? So all of those things are is a good starting point to start to think about some of these soft skills that you use in your day to day, how you address issues. Again, these skills are what organizations are paying for today. They want someone who can come on board, look at what we're currently doing, and say, okay, let's do it in a different way. Let's solve this situation. Let's do it differently. And you can do it as well. So there are no-code tech roles such as business analyst, which we'll delve into a simpler version of it. The Scrum Master, you need to see the Scrum Master as your event planner, someone that ensures that everything goes really smoothly, right? So when you think about the concept of event planning, if you're in the context of a wedding, as an example, you have a wedding, you have an event planner. They ensure logistics is okay. They ensure the decor is done. They ensure catering would bring all the food. All you have to do as the bride is rest assured that yes, my event planner is going to make sure that every single vendor supporting the uplift of this ceremony would show up.
Yeah.
Right? So you just sit back and enjoy. That is who you can liken to who a scrum master is. They remove issues, they remove problems, allowing the bride and the groom to focus on the event. Now, when you think about a business analyst, right? When you think about who a business analyst is, even in layman's term, think about a time that you visited a GP in Australia today. And you went to the GP and said to the GP, hey, I've been feeling some pain in the left side of my head. I don't know what's happening. Will the GP just give you medication and say, okay, yeah, T, you have a pain. All right, take ibuprofen and go? No, they won't. They will delve into the details. So how long have you had this headache for? If they have met you before, if they haven't met you before, they would even go as far back as your history. They want to learn a bit more about your records. They want to learn a bit more about your medical history. They want to learn a bit more about what you've done. And they delve into current. Okay, how long have you had this headache for? What part of your head hurts? All right, can I check your blood pressure? Can I check this? Can I check your heart rate? They do all of those things. That is your business analyst in the confines of the workplace. Your business analyst is your problem solver. They help you provide clarity, but they don't just hand you the solution, even when they can see it glaringly. They go into the questioning, they ask you so they can provide something tailored to you, similar to what we're doing today. We don't just want to give general advice. I want you to ask us questions based on your needs so we can provide you a response. So that would help you. All of these things, again, and if someone told me that my everyday normal skills would put me in a position where I work in a senior role today in a bank, I would say nah, like these normal skills that I just go around priding myself as someone that enjoys talking to people and someone that just loves to bring people together and just have a really good laugh. It's going to eventually, of course, with adding skills, with adding more technical skills, it's going to be providing me also provide me the opportunity to be able to coach other people on how they can stop leaving money on the table. Every single time you have something inside of you, we call it inherent skills. It's natural to you. And again, even if you don't have it naturally, you can develop these things through training, through upskilling, through connecting to people who are already doing what you want to do. Our mantra is if you want to do something, you want to move in the path of the people who are already doing it today. You can't sit with people working in the job that you want to leave and think you're going to experience a change. No, if I want to learn fashion designing, I'm not going to be going to the plumbing side or electrician. No, I'm going to go to fashion designing where I can learn what I want to learn. So, with the current block, 100%, we can have even a broader conversation. But I just want you to start to think about some of your normal day-to-day skills, things that you do, how you even manage your own household. If you have a partner, I'm sure you guys probably have mini conflict in the house, which is normal. You settle it. Let's have a conversation. Okay, why did this happen? You discuss all of those things. Those are the things that you would be using on the job, coupled with you now building the technical side of things, which is now learning how to speak in those languages. Doctors know their job, but they have some languages that they write on the script for you, correct? They have to learn that. So all of those things are things that you would be able to get as a result of popping yourself in a training. So I really hope that answers and address your question. T. And yeah, no, was there anything you would like to add to that?
No, I think you've captured it brilliantly. So thank you so much. That was profound. T, I hope, I think she's Natasha. I hope that gave a lot of perspective. So we'd like to hear from you guys. So if you've got questions, please pop it in the chat so we can engage and give you tailored feedback. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. So we just want to talk about this important concept, and this is from the book 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and this is the seventh.
Are you still sharing? Were you intending to share your screen?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's gone off.
So,
Yeah.
so seven habits of highly effective people. Number 7 habit is to sharpen the saw. What does that mean? Right. So if you've got a task, say you want to chop down some trees, and you've got a saw that is not sharpened, you know how much hard work you need to do, considerably hard work. And that is how some people are actually living their life on hard mode. You're doing hard work that does not have leverage. So I want you to think about this for a second. Like every single day, you must have an habit where you are sharpening your sword in whatever thing you're doing. This is a life skill. It's going to make you more effective. It's going to make you do life on easy mode. And I'm telling you, I've applied this in my life and I see how much considerably better it is. Because sharpening your saw is what will make you more effective. Do tasks with ease. Do high leverage. You just automatically find yourself in a situation where you're doing things with ease, you're having better conversations with people, you go for interviews, you have so much depth that they want to hire you immediately. Like, there's so much value when you sharpen this up. And why is that's very important? According to the greatest investor of our time now, I hope we all know, Warren Buffett, he says you need to invest in yourself. Now, you may have heard this before, invest in yourself, but not really taking time to think about what that means, right? Investing in yourself is your greatest leverage. And there's so many ways you can invest yourself. We've talked about why time is so important and precious earlier, and why time is your greatest asset, right? The things that you do with your time is also like an investment. What are you investing? The time you invest in reading books, right, is an investment. So people see investment as just monetary, like it's just the financial part of things. It's not necessarily so. Time, what you invest your time on, when there are choices between, hey, that Netflix and a couple of other priorities like reading books, like taking a course, like having meaningful conversations with family, friends, or building connections with partners, or going for that interview, whatever. You need to think about it. Sometimes you don't need to turn on that TV. You don't need to. That TV is holding you back. No, yeah, you don't need to like stay on top of the news every single day. And trust me, coming from me, that I'm always like in the know. I want to be well rounded. But I'm saying sometimes you need to just prioritize the high level things in your life. So investing in yourself is super critical. I want you to reflect. How much investment am I pouring into myself? Am I sharpening myself every single day? All right? You can do that through reading books, taking a course, having a coach, mentor, right? Having meaningful conversations with people around you, even time with family, right? It's super important. So I want to leave you with this quote, and it says, "For the best return on your money, pour your purse into your head." And this is from Benjamin Franklin. I'm not the one that said it. See, right? For the best return on your money. So sometimes we think like material things are the best investment, like buying a house, or buying a car, whatever, or S&P 500 shares, ETFs, etc. All of those are good investment vehicles, but the best is what? When you pour in your head, when you improve yourself. The best type of investment is the investment in yourself. And this is so profound. Again, taking from, Buffett, he says, generally speaking, I'm going to read it verbatim. Generally speaking, investing in yourself is the best thing you can do. Anything that improves your talent, nobody can take that away from you, right? They can run up huge debt. Like, you can get into deficit, dollar can crash and go up and go down. That investment that you made in the house or whatnot can go down. But your talent, as long as you keep developing it, right, nobody can take it away from you. If you've got talent in yourself and you maximize your talent to the fullest potential, you've got a terrific asset. I'm not the one that said that, but I want you to reflect on that. Just think about it. Are you maximizing your talent today? Can you genuinely say, wow, I'm on that trajectory to be the best version of myself? Right? There was an analogy in the book, like seven habits. And the man said, you need to see yourself at your funeral and think about what What are people saying about you? I know that's a bit morbid, but we need to think about it. It's important that we begin with the end in mind. What type of life do you want to live or have lived? What are people going to be saying about you in your funeral? Have you thought about it before? Right? And it's not just about, oh, yeah, the fake, oh, it was a good person, all of that. But the impact. Would you have said, well, I did everything, I lived it out. I didn't leave anything, I didn't live my life with regret. It's super important. We can't chase only financial, prosperity, and all the other part of our life starts to fail. Health, your health, the time with family, friends, the connection, how you maximize your talent, all of those things are going to be the most important part. Right? When you're 50, when you're in your 60, when you're in your 70, do you still want to be doing the same thing you're doing now? Or are you taking steps to invest in yourself, to maximize to your fullest potential? And it starts with what? Investing in yourself. Invest time in yourself. Read, study, read books. Reading books genuinely changed my life. So many people see it as a chore. It's not. Trust me, it's like a personal mentor. Somebody that is a professional in a particular field, document good strategies, experiences, mistake, best practice, and collate that into a book. I think is a steal. So there are books in every aspect, for every aspect of like health, wealth, personal development, increasing your faith, fun activity. There's book for everything. If you read 1 hour a day, it sets the tone for the entire day. The days I don't feed my mind are the days I like whinge a lot, right? Because you need to actually fill your cup before you can give back to the world. What are you giving back? We are so talented. And how do I know? So many people come our path. They train, they build their skills, they gain experience, they get their dream outcome. And they say, wow, Sing skills changed my life. We still heard it day before yesterday. Right? Sing skills changed my life. They get job offer. I'm like, hey, you didn't change your life. You put in the work, right? You did put in the work. But it's important for us not to do life on hard mode. We can't continue to just do the same thing and not sharpen our sword, and we want to, live life on easy mode. So please, if you didn't take anything out today, it's not just about transitioning to tech. Like we said, it's general. This is not just about tech. Because as long as you continue to sharpen your sword, you will never lack. You will see opportunities to solve problems. Your value will increase. And money is really value. The more value you can create in the world, the more money you're going to make. It's as simple as that. If you have so much value to give the world would reward you. Going back to scarcity mindset, of course that is abundance mindset. There's too much money to go around the world. All you need to do is to create enough value for the world. Something valuable to the world would come back in full circle. If you approach it in a way of service, you create value in the world and you'll be rewarded for it. Even the job you're trying to get, you're going to create value there, and that's why they reward you for it. But what type of value are you creating? Are you creating value that has leverage? The way to get money, the way to get in a career or a job that pays you more is to create more value in that space. And that's why we say jobs in tech are value driven, they are not time driven. It's not about clocking in at 8 a.m. and logging off at 5 p.m. Right? That's why people can do the work remotely, irrespective. Right? It's about what value in this time period am I creating for this company? What problem am I solving for this company in my job? You will not be able to solve problems if you don't have the skill. So that's why you must continue to sharpen your sword. It's super important, guys, and that's what we always want to hammer. So it's not just about transitioning to tech. In your role today, are you positioning yourself in a way? So for example, if you're an accountant, let's look at the hierarchy. If you're a bookkeeper, you're just a bookkeeper, right? When they pay you $100, $120 to do bookkeeping for a company. If you're an accountant, of course, you need to increase your skills a bit more to become an accountant. Then you can earn more money for accounting service. Maybe, okay, $600 per month for a client for a small business to just do it. If you are a financial planner, you can see now, for you to become a financial planner, you have to upskill to that, you need to position yourself, upskill. Now, the money that you get as a financial planner is more than an accountant. And if you're now a deal broker, meaning you're in the discussion when they want to sell a company or sell a business or sell house or things like that, you get commission. You see, it's leverage, but it is a subject of how much skill you have, right? So the person doing bookkeeping can get to deal broker if they did what? Upskill, gain experience in that area, right? And then what happens? It starts to get commission based. Like you said, you broker a deal of a house sold like 100 million. You get, even if it's 1%, it's more than any bookkeeping you do for many years. That's leverage. That's super leverage. And things that will make a difference now going forward into the new world is to do things that are of high leverage. AI is going to do things that are repetitive, like the same thing, not very high skilled. Creativity will be rewarded, right? Your communication, your people skills, your analytical thinking. AI is very good, but it can't think about context a lot like human. Innovate, like can't dream of ideas. Everything is always created twice. First, in your thought. I think I've abused that word enough, this week. But
Yeah, you have actually.
yeah, I have. Yeah.
I knew that was coming at some point.
Yeah, because I believe it's so much that like there's no creation where somebody didn't conceive the idea first and
Yeah.
then implementation happened. So how would you think about ideas and expand your mind? How would you think about opportunity? How will you see yourself as a problem solver? How will you be able to have the skill to solve problems if you don't even feed
Think
yourself
about it. Yeah.
and and improve yourself and learn and grow? So everything starts first from your thought. Two times everything that is created start. Two times somebody will think about it and then they think about how to solve it and then go implement it, right? So please, super important. Let's get your questions. What is resonating with you? If you've got questions, let us know. Tayo, you want to take the next one?
Yes, yes. Again, in terms of what really drives us and what we want you to take out of this is it is extremely important for you to develop skills that would allow you charge based on value rather than hours. It is super important. It is even more critical now than ever,
Yeah.
especially in a world where AI is literally changing every single thing, right? So if you think about what you currently do right now, and you think about the lifestyle, and you think about financial freedom, I always say financial freedom is not just about like the monetary sides of things. It lies in you genuinely doing what you love and a lifestyle where you can really control your own schedule. So I decide when I want to work, what I want to do, how I want to do it. Not, they've not yet sent me the work for the week. They've not yet sent me the roster for the fortnight. Oh, I'm not working on Christmas. I'm sad. No. But if you don't upskill and try and increase your earning power, you're going to be caught, or you're going to be stuck in that loophole. And think about the next 5 years and think about where you are right now. The question is, am I going to be genuinely happy if I was still in this current job that I'm doing right now? I mean, 5 years is probably even too long. Let's say in the next 24 months. Ask yourself, if I was still in the job that I am in right now, in another 24 months, would I be happy? Am I going to be happy? So we always want to keep that in mind. For us, it's the greatest travesty, I always say, is a life where you have unfulfilled potential. What's the point of having a gift and I'm not leveraging it or I'm not using it? And I continue to blame Australia. Hello, Australia is not the problem. Australia is not your problem. You can't blame everyone but yourself for your own situation. If you cannot even start with taking accountability of your own situation, you can't expect things to change. Right? You can't control what happened, right? Okay, maybe you found yourself in a situation where it's tough and you have to settle in jobs, but you can definitely control your response to it now. And what is going to be your response to this situation? Are you just going to be like, yeah, I really want to do this? I mean, I really want to do it. But you say that I really want to do it in for another 12 months, for another 24 months. You're just piling up things. What we're trying to say, or what we are singing out really loud today, is you may not be able to control what's happened to you, but you have to control it, how you respond to the situation. Your response is really, really key. And what would be your response to this? Would you just sit back and continue on complaining in where you currently work? Or would you take a step further and try to ask? Again, I have sang this time and time. It is not just tech alone now. Whatever it is that drives you or pushes you, you need to move further. You need to move away from that particular situation and try to say, what is available to me? The problem is we sit back and expect some form of solutions to come. No, it won't come if I don't step out and see what is available out there. You need to surround yourself with the people that are already doing, that already have what you want, really. Again, I already said it. Organizations are paying people like me for my everyday skills, plus the other technical skills that I have acquired on my journey. And you also have this relatively normal skills and on what you currently do today. So you always need to start with, what do I actually have? To T's question, what do I have right now? You have a whole lot. Even in the current job that you do right now, there are a lot of transferable skills, a whole lot of transferable skills. Noah already talked about being analytical. Some of you pride yourselves in the fact that I listen more than I talk. I am internalizing what you're saying. You don't know what you're practicing is active listening. When you listen to people and you don't just listen to respond, but you actually listen and think about what the person have just said to you and ask follow-up questions. So you're clarifying. You're not just like interrupting and interjecting. And even if you do that, you can learn it. You can definitely learn it. Communication. Yes, appreciating that some people have stronger communication skills, but you already have the basic, which is you can speak with people. You understand English to a good extent. At least if you've gone through education in Australia, they would have taught you in English. So you already speak. Even on your current job today, you communicate. Someone says something to you, you record it, whether it is written or verbal, they read it, they understand it. That is you using a lot of your communication skills. Even solving problems, we solve problem every single day. Every single day. You get faced with a problem, you get maybe a letter from your insurance or something, they're telling you your product is coming to an end. You solve that situation. because if you don't pay, they will take you off it and you won't have insurance for your vehicle or whatnot. That's a problem that you're solving. Even just looking at people, someone tells you, oh, Sheila, I have a surprise birthday party that I'm trying to plan for my partner and I don't have a lot of time. I really need your help. That's a problem at hand, and we have limited time to solve it. So you already do a lot of these things. And I tell you, for every single time you stay in that career of yours right now, you are leaving or losing at least 40,000 Australian dollars on something that you could just generally build on top of what you currently have as your own skills. Build on top of your inherent skills, acquire more knowledge, learn a bit more on what is required within the tech space, whether you want to explore business analyst role or scrum master or product owner or project manager. That, okay, I'm going to learn a bit more, but I know that I am not starting at zero. Contrary to what people think, oh, I'm going to start at zero, I know nothing. That is not true.
Yeah.
That is not true. We had a registered nurse, I mean, registered nurses always say things like, oh, a registered nurse, always a registered nurse, because they just always have to present that way. But his background was registered nursing, and now he works as a business analyst. He used to work in the aged care as well as a registered nurse. Guess what? He got a job of a business analyst in the health sector where they are actually needing someone that has got aged care background. Just look at that. So his previous skills did not go to waste. In fact, there was no perfect candidate for that job other than him, because every single thing it was like God created that job for him. What are the odds? Registered nurse, used to work in the aged care, now got a job as a business analyst in an organization where they are looking for someone that has got aged care background plus business analysis skills. So companies are paying upwards of 120K for the skills that you already have. If only you would go out there and go and build up on those skills and learn the ropes of what you can do. And learn the ropes of how you can successfully work in role as a business analyst. And always, again, most of the questions we get asked is, I have no background. I have no background as well. I have no prior IT background. I didn't study computer science in school. I studied professional accounting on a master's level. And for my bachelor's, I was in the art. So it has nothing to do with this space. But when you have skills, when you have knowledge, organizations will not have a choice than to bet on you, knowing that you can help them solve their problem. So super, super important. If you have any questions, please leave us a question. I think we missed a question earlier on. Let me see. Someone had a question around I'm joining from Hadley. Thank you, Emma. How do I get the job experience without no history? Great question. How do I get a job experience without no history? I like to rephrase that. You do have a history. I'm sure you probably have worked before. So that is something that you're bringing to the table. I'm not sure what your background was. If you wanted to tell us what your background is, what sort of jobs you've done in the past. But I tell you, there are transferable skills from that job that I just told you. A registered nurse who used to work in the aged care, right, who now works as a business analyst. His previous background significantly contributed to him getting the job because he has the domain knowledge. So you wouldn't necessarily say you have no history. You do have history, but I guess what you're trying to ask is you've literally never done the job of a business analyst before. How do you claim that experience on your resume? Which is what I think you're wanting to ask. With that one, that can be solved. That's easy. So when you understand, especially for business analysis as an example, I always say to people, so a business analyst is not just someone with a job title, business analyst. Okay. And this, I didn't say this. This is set by IIBA, and that's the International Institute of Business Analysis. They're the body guiding business analysis. Their definition of a business analyst is not just someone with a job title, it's anyone who has enabled a change in the confines of an organization, anyone who has engaged stakeholders, anyone who has helped organization articulate their needs, anyone who has helped organization solve problems. You have done business analysis in that context. So what we do, I can't give you like that 100% response, but what we do is sit with you as things gives and learn a bit more about what you've done before, coupled with the training. Your training also contributes as a work experience. And this is something that you probably won't hear out there. But even IIBA recognizes that as a work experience because it's not like a university. You are learning how to do the job. You are doing the job. If you're lucky and you come to Sync Schools, you are actually not coming to a school. You are coming to do the job. You are going to be working with a team that are developing products. You may or may not know, but we went to Canberra last year, July, to go and showcase one of our products, a product built collaboratively with people like yourself who have come on board to learn as part of their internship, right? So you get that job experience while trying to acquire the knowledge. In fact, the knowledge that you acquire serves as your experience because it is work. I'm not coming to teach you definition. What is? That's not what we do. We don't care about references, put references in your assessment. That is simply not what we do. We care about you developing the skills. So those things will contribute as an experience. Your internship, you work with software developers, you work with architects, you work with project managers, you work with product designers on a real project. So those things will contribute as your would contribute as part of your work experience. So again, Emma, we can go on and on about this. We can go into more detail if I have a bit more detail around your journey, but I would not worry about experience because that's the list of your worries. I would worry about getting the skills first, acquiring the knowledge, and you can leverage some of your previous experience and see how we can transfer some of those skills that you currently possess. So I hope that addressed your question, Emma. If you have a follow-up question, please let us know in the group chat and we'll pick that up. All
Yeah.
right.
Thank
Tosin.
you.
Tosin, where are you joining from? Tosin, let us know where you're joining from. But Tosin has got a question around how does this work for people outside of Australia? The skills that you acquire is universal, okay? It's international. We have a lot of people, you probably would have seen this on our Instagram, but we have one of our amazing tech staff currently working with Accenture in the UK. And we have a lot of people outside of Australia as well. So the skills, universal skills you'd acquire, relevant across board. Australia, UK, Canada, Nigeria, wherever you find yourself. So I guess the only caveat would probably be the timing that you would have to join this session. But in terms of the viability of the skills that you'd acquire and the work that we do, it is across board. So I hope that I addressed your question. So please let me know if you had a follow-up question for that. But just on that, we thought it would be super important to also address some myth and some misconception. So, in terms of myth and misconceptions, a lot of people say the popular one is, "Oh, what do I need to code to have a successful career in tech?" The simple answer is no. Okay, it is 2025. Please spread the news with everyone. No, 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 no. There are different sides to tech. There's a part of tech where it is heavily laden on programming, a bit more technical sides of things. And that's fine. I always say to people, if that interests you, there is absolutely nothing that you cannot learn. So long you put yourself in an environment where they are looking out for you and not just after your money, you can do anything. For us, we are focused on the no-code side of things. Noah, could you stay on the slide? We are focused on the no-code side of things. So we just really want a situation where you are able to leverage the skills that you currently possess, the skills that you have. We just optimize that, layer up on it, we build on it incrementally, and boom, you'll be off to go. Again, it is still hard, of course. Of course, when you're doing new things, it would be challenging. When you're learning something new, you would have to put in the time. So hard is going to be relative, but I know that if I put my mind to something, nothing is too hard. My mantra in life is if you know this, half of the problem is solved. My mantra in life is the reason I do not excel at anything would not be for lack of trying. If something is too hard, then let's break it down into pieces. Let's break it down. Okay, what's making it hard? Is it because of my time? Is it because I don't have enough time to sacrifice for this? Is it because I haven't read it? Most times we say things are hard, but the truth is, your brain does have the power to contain any data that you load it. The problem is we don't feed it enough. Some of us look at something once and think we're going to get it. Ow, that
Yeah.
is not possible. That is simply impossible. If you dedicate time to this thing, you'd find it super. I'll share a story of one of our texters, one of our alumni who currently works with an insurance company. So I remember when, so we do have interview preparation sessions, right? Where we would simulate real life interview with you. So we go through the practice, contrary to, some other trainings out there that just leave you post trainings. We are solely focused on helping you navigate the journey end to end. So during our interview preps, she would have this concern that, Tayo, I can't remember my elevator pitch. My elevator pitch is not sticking in our words. Like I can't, I'm unable to fully assimilate my elevator pitch for some reason. It's a little bit hard. And I said to her, it is hard because we haven't done it enough. Think about all the things that you're good at today. Did you start off being good at them? No. Every expert was once a novice. That's what I say to people. Even think about the way you drive today. I'm sure a good number of people on this call, the very first time you drove a car, I'm sure you were holding your breath like, God help me, Lord have mercy. Jesus help me today as I drive this car. You're praying and doing and speaking in tongues and doing all those things. But now you jump into your car, you don't even think. You just boom, move. Some of you lot are even like listening to music and calling people and multitasking. Why? Because you've done it enough time. You've done it enough. So please, nothing is too hard. You just haven't given it enough time. You haven't fed your data. The reason you go to ChatGPT today and ChatGPT would give you some of those responses because they have loaded it with a lot of information. Okay, so if it's empty, it's not going to know. If you ask ChatGPT to tell you how to bomb the world today, it will tell you, "I'm sorry, I can't give you that information." Why? Because they told it to give you that. Okay, so nothing is still hard. In terms of your previous skills, I already spoke about that. Your previous skills would not be going to waste. Your previous skills are not going to waste. You will start to connect the dots. Again, we've said it time and time. People say, oh, only citizens and Australian permanent residents can get professional jobs. That is simply not true. When you look at me, just think about, yeah, it is possible, okay? You do not, so long you're not, student visa with the caveat or some other visas that have got work restrictions, like if you're on a tourist visa, as an example, that can come with some caveats in terms of where you can work and how you can do the work. Student visa as well does have limitations in terms of the restrictions. But when you start to move like visa subclasses, like your work visa, like your 491 visa, like your employer sponsored visa, like all of those other visas, you have no limitations. You're presented with no limitations. So please, let's do it. Let us just stop all these rumors and let's stop all of these things that I can't do this, I can't do this. Yes, you can. If you believe you cannot do it, then now it's time to jump off the call or just share this with someone who needs it because it all starts from your mind. Like Noah would always say, everything happens twice. First in your mind and second time through implementation. So super, super important, team. Super, super important. All right. Esther had a question.
Yeah.
Hey, Tayo, the classes are pre-recorded. Should in case someone missed the class. Oh, all the classes are recorded. No, you are not watching a pre-recorded class. You are going to be attending a live class, a class where you get to ask real-time questions. But yes, the classes would be recorded. In case you miss a part of it, you can recap. Again, not one learning happens once. Mastery requires patience. Mastery requires repetition. So yes, you would have an opportunity to recap the class as many times as you so desire. So
Yep.
Esther, I hope that addressed your question. If you've got any follow-up questions, please leave us a comment in the group chat.
Right. Powerful. Thank you so much. We've addressed popular myths
Yes.
misconceptions. Um, but it's also important to say, hey, you may have heard you can't get a professional job in Australia. That is that is not true. There's so many immigrants now that are working in tech, working professionally, lawyers, doctors. Is it going to be hard? Yeah, yeah. And that's
Yeah.
why we position to help you, navigate some of those challenges so that you can get the best outcome. But
Yeah.
nothing good comes easy, right? You're going to be competing with people all over the world. You already know, like, Australia is multicultural, right? So there are different people from different part of the world. So the standard is higher. For you to get a job, you must prove yourself. I always say more than 100%. You must go above and beyond to 120%, because already Africans are like, oh, there's a perception.
Yeah.
Mm, there are systemic issues. There's preference. There's so many things that would, you know, play against you. But there's one thing we always say: competence would what? Kill bias.
Eliminate.
Eliminate
Eliminate bias.
bias every single day. There's a way you'll be so good, even if the system is biased, they don't
They don't have a choice.
they don't have a choice, because you're just the best. So you must put in the work, right? To go beyond and above. In my organization, I'm the only black person working, and we have more than 500, staff working. So I have to be like, I always have to show up correct every single time. They else, well, like, you can't be timid. But it comes from a place of skills, experience, confidence, and making sure that you're working on yourself, so that you get into any room, you can command presence, you can talk. You're not like jittery or nervous or things like that. Because most important rooms you be entering, you will be the minority. And
Mhm.
that's one problem we want to solve. We want to make sure that now more familiar. When you get into rooms, conference, you see more Africans, you see people, because yeah, we're now in industries that matter, right? Industries that shape the economy. When they want to make policy decision, they are consulting Africans and how these policies would affect us as well. We want a world where that begins to happen. It's not going to happen if we're just like not seeing, look like we're not relevant, right? And if we continue en masse, continue to work in low skill job, we're not going to be relevant,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, we're not going to be people they just toss $50 per hour to $70. Those people, you know, you don't have a say. But when we start to amass, be in boardrooms, be in conferences, be in meetings, high tables where decisions are made, then that is going to be incredible leverage, not just for us, but our future, our children, the upcoming generations coming. And it is massively important, right? So we don't want our children to come and do care work as well. And that's the only thing they know. Because trust me, they are picking up what we do. They see how you use your time. They see how you spend your time. They see the struggle you go through. They must be greater than us. So the benchmark, when we already are doing and prospering and doing amazing things, they will surpass that as well. And then that's incredible leverage for them going forward. So this is a generational mindset shift, and that's why we commit our time to having these conversations, to educate people week in, week out as much as possible, so we can all have a change of mindset and see what is possible. Because now, genuinely, you know, according to stats, only 3% of Africans are in the tech sector here in Australia, for example. But in the last 2 years, 6 years has increased that percentage. So many alumni now they are working. So many of them are even they're starting their business, their company, and that is a goal. Something incredible happened this week where we realized that one of our alumni working would be the one interviewing another student we have that is going to go get a job.
For the
So
process,
basically,
yeah.
two C skills alumni going to interview, like you're going to be the one making decision for our student to get a job, of course, based on merit. But that is already an advantage if you think
Yeah.
about it, and that is a pivotal milestone for us at Sinskills. That wow, we are solving that problem where now we're not just like we're getting our people in rooms where they can make decisions that will favor us.
Yeah.
Now, if so many of us were now in high skill jobs, the chances of me meeting, a black person, an African in an interview is going to be
It's getting
higher,
higher. Yeah.
right? And when I see my guy, of course, if they are good, of course there will be fight against all those systemic things, right? All those systemic issues that would have played against you. Because you're in the room, you fight for your brother, you fight for your sister. That will be irrelevant.
Yeah.
What we will focus on is your skills and your experience, not there's this the culture fit, what not. You will fight for your brother and say, come on, they know the culture is right? They're going to add value based on this. When it comes to preference, it will go for you as well, right? And that's why it's massively important that we upskill aggressively. When we do that, the upside, not just for us, and we know that sometimes Africans we tend to be individualistic. We want to run our race alone. That is not a that is absolutely not the best way. We need to think about service, like collective good. If we have collective good, things will be easier for us. And that's our mission. A world where Africans are thriving, starting businesses, in good careers, where they have like satisfaction, they have leverage, they spend time with family, their social activity. Now, if you even call for a party, right? The people that come, they'll sometimes be telling you, hey, I have shift, or I have to go, weekend rate, I don't want to lose that money, all of that. We want to get people away from there, right? Most of our core friends, they are not in that loop. We have a good time. When there's party, nobody is like, oh, I'm losing money being here. We genuinely enjoy things that matter. Back home in Africa, what happens? Weekend like this, you see party, people are dressing up. Those things contribute to our well-being. There's a challenge where we're already living in an isolated environment, right? Where sometimes I've not spoken to my neighbor in 1 year. I don't even know how some of them look like in 1 year. Whereas where we're coming from, we try with that communion. It's like where people are in your business is good as well. Let people be in your business, right? When something is happening to you, there's an alarm like, I've not heard from this man. Oh, let's check up. Like, it's good. We're social beings, right? We're supposed to be working in tribes. That is the way, if you go to the history, the evolution of human, right? That is the way we were supposed to be engaging. And you come to an environment where it's good to mind your business, of course. The benefit to that. But we need to socialize. But then when the condition is structured around where you are not able to do that because you rather go for a shift, there's pressure for every other thing in your life, you rather spend public holiday at work, you rather go to the night shift when you're supposed to be resting, those things have impact. And that's why you hear some tragic stories. So please, it's important for us. that we're not just focusing on the financial aspect. So if we've not got more question, right, we're going to be winding this down. I hope you all got value. Tayo.
100%. Thank you all so much for joining. Thank you for your kind words, Innocent. Esther Amarachi had a question. So, in relation to people on student visa, should they bother not to apply for BA roles until they graduate? So, in terms of the student visa has got a work restriction, which is you need to work 20 hours, I believe. Last I checked, I don't know if that's changed.
I think 28 hours or something.
Is it 28? So I know that that does have some restrictions. So in that case, it may be if the person would get an opportunity like for a part-time role, then yes. But you can't work outside of your visa boundaries. So it would have to be post when you can work with no work hour restriction. The good thing there, however, is you would have built the skills required. You would have had opportunity to learn the ropes, had opportunity to work with teams, had opportunity to work on a real project. So by the time you're ready, you're fully ready. I was talking to someone the other day, and the person said to me, "Hey, Taya, I'm on a student visa and I finish in October, but I want to start now. I want to be so solid that at the end of that October, no organization would be able to say no." And I said, wow, I don't hear this a lot. So I love that mindset. So again, for you to be a master, to be an expert at anything, it does need time. So whatever it is that you want to do, and you say, oh, I'm going to do it post my student visa. One thing is you are saving yourself a lot of time rather than starting then when your student visa finishes and you're now on a work visa and there's a bit more pressure. You start now and you're building the skills. If you think about world best players and all of those people, they didn't start like that. No one starts out to be a champion in one day, but incrementally they build. I always say this: breakthrough is as a result of many previous actions. You don't just see people and feel like, oh, that person is really successful and overnight. Boom. No, it's the things they've been doing before that day. But people would only see the breakthrough and be like, oh, wow, I really like this person. But no one knows when this person was putting in all the works, doing all the things when no one recognized them. Even when you think about concept of celebrity, there was a time where you didn't know them, and all of a sudden they're all over across media. So that's it. So your breakthrough will come as a result of your many previous actions. It won't just come overnight. So it is not a waste of time if you're on a student visa right now, solely due to the restriction on that visa, which says they want you to focus on your education rather than looking for full-timers. So in the corporate space, they'll be looking for someone who has got unlimited working rights, okay? So someone who does not have hour cap or hour limit. Otherwise, they'll get slammed with fine as well, only with that caveat. So I hope that addressed your question, Grace. Or if you had a follow-up question, please let me know. And yeah, we'll definitely address it. But this has been super, super profound. Thank you all for spending your time with us. Again, always remember to surround yourself with people who have what you already want. That's why we have a strong community at Sync Skills. We say if you think you're still thinking about it and you really want to do it, join our community. When you start to see people doing what you thought was once impossible, your mind shifts. And if you know anything, is that whatever you focus on, it expands. Whatever you set your mind to, you start to see it manifest. You start to see things all over the place. It's as simple as if you're wanting to even buy a car, as an example. Say you have an appetite to buy a Range Rover. Suddenly you start to see like Range Rovers on the road. It's like, did they just drop Range Rovers on the road? No, they didn't just drop it. Range Rovers have always been on the road. The only difference is your mind is focusing on buying it. So naturally, your brain is able to direct you to say, hey, that's another Range Rover. Hey, that's another Range Rover. There's that connection building up mentally for you. And that's why you start to see it. So if you want to do something, you need to move in the circle of the people who are already doing it. Again, this is one of our favorite moments when we run sessions, showing you what is possible. These are real life people. These are people, you probably even know some of them. These are people who at some point felt, am I going to be able to do this? And each of them with their own unique, beautiful stories. That can be you as well. That can be you as well. We've got surgeons, we've got mothers, we've got people, youth workers, we've got disability support workers, we've got all these people. We've got lawyers, people who were once doing all the things and decided tech was for them. But the only thing stopping you right now is taking an action. If you're an action taker and you know nothing changes if you do nothing, it's time to make a move. Stop desiring, stop having an appetite without acting on the appetite. You can't desire to eat jollof rice and you never actually go to the pantry to check if you've got rice or if you can cook the meal. So I leave you with that, but it's been an absolute pleasure having a chat with
Yeah.
you. Thank you so much for your time, your question. We genuinely do appreciate. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Tyra, for that. So if you want to like become one of these amazing people who had similar story, I'm sure, to you, some of them working in care, nursing, entrepreneurs, and they just wanted to change their life. And you can see amazing testimony, and we love this moment. We want more of you to come on board and go on that journey, right? And it's not always like bed of roses when you're doing things alone without a community, like the drive, just somebody spurring you on and holding you accountable and having support of what is possible and helping you navigate all the self-doubt issues, challenges. Like, it is incredible. For us, it's like this is not a training, we say, it's an experience. So it's a program where it's like you go on the journey with us till you get the outcome you want. So as long as you don't give up, we continue to support you till you get the outcome. How beautiful is that? So we know trainings are like, oh, you do the training and you go. For us, that's not what is important. What is important is we are focused on the end, right? Which is, how do you continue to get support even when you get a job? There are people that are in jobs, they still need support, and they still come and say, hey, no, I'm tired, Tosin, please help me out, or talk to our alumni as well. So there's a community of support that helps you even stay in the job, and that is profound. So if you want to join us, if you want to become a business analyst, okay, Tosin said, does working as a BA require certification? Well, I answered this question yesterday as well, right? You don't need certification to get a job as a BA. The only thing you need to answer is skills and experience. So many people can't get their head around the fact that certification is not the biggest leverage for you, right? In fact, organization will pay you to do certification when you start working with them and you're starting to add value. Yes, right? So effectively, certification is just like, yeah, you know how to do this thing, you got this experience, then do the certification. Can you guys imagine a nurse just starting with certification? Like, if you want to be a nurse now, you want to be a doctor or a surgeon, you just go and do certification. Is that how it is done? No, you build the skills first, you do experience, then you get then you start to get license to practice and all those kind of things. It's the same way. Be a job, a tech job, what not, right? Even there are some tech job, they don't even have certification. Software developer, no, nothing concern them with certification. Is go and build the platform, go and build the stuff. People that didn't go to school, they are working as software developers, cashing out, right? Working as BAs, right? So that is for Africa. Even, yeah, like Africa, even I'm sure they are changing now, where academic qualification for some companies is important, certification. But if you're trying to get job in Australia, UK, Canada, that is not the focus. At best, certification just shows, okay, you're an expert in this field and maybe get you to an interview room. if your resume, if you've done all the good thing in your resume, that is, you've demonstrated your skills, your experience. If you don't do that, nothing for you. I'm sorry. Like, you may have all the certification. Some of you even may already have certifications, and you know what I'm saying. It's not gonna work. So it's a nice to have at best. I hope that helped. What's a BA, please? Yeah, that's a good question. Doing so, the way we like to, and Tyler has so many beautiful analogies. So let's think about a scenario where you're planning an event, right?
Yeah.
You plan. But Tyler, you want to take it? 'Cause-
Yeah, I can. So thanks,
yeah.
Doreen. I know you does look like you just joined. Okay, just joining. Yeah, amazing. So when you think about a business analyst, and I did give this an analogy earlier, you want to think about this particular person that makes things happen. Okay. I'm a senior BA, so I like to call myself as a problem solver and a clarity creator. Think about yourself visiting a doctor or a GP. When you go to a GP and you say to them, hey, I've got a bit of a pain in my right leg, as an example, the GP would never just say, hey, Doreen, yes, you've got a pain in your leg. Yeah, just take this medication and go. They would never say that to you. They'll go into the details. If they're just meeting you for the first time, they will ask you a question and say, hey, where have you come from? What's your family history? They want to get to know a bit more about you to try and connect. Maybe the problem is more than just the leg, okay? To try and see if the situation at hand is more than just your leg. Maybe there's something more in there that they need to be aware of. Maybe there's something more in there that they need to be looking at, right? So they go into the details, ask you all these questions, even go as far as checking your blood pressure, checking your heart rate to make sure, okay, things are okay. Then they may say, okay, if it's something really intense, they may even send you for a test to go and get a test done, just so they could get into the details. So they don't just look at it and say, well, I've been a doctor for years and that's it, solution solved. No, that's where a business analyst is in the confines of an organization. They help them solve problems. They help them look at an alternative way of doing things. They help them to look, is this really the best way for us to do this thing? Or are there other options? Are there other alternatives? Of course, I'm giving you a very simple analogy. You need some skills to be able to do this, but I bet you already do some of these things in your day-to-day today. You know, solving problems, helping people think about a better way of doing stuff. You may have moved your house around if you have a child, so your child would stop scattering things and taking things. That's you thinking about a different process to make your life easier. You know, you do all of these things in your day to day, but organizations would pay you if you have even an added skill. But the point there is when you think about a business analyst, they are a clarity creator, they are a problem solver, and they help organizations to achieve their objective, their goals through their skills. So simple terms is they know what the situation is, but they don't just hand over. They help other people to think about alternative way of doing something, to think about the best option to do something. If you've ever even advised someone to not go for one visa subclass and go for the other, you're already helping them to improve a process that could have gone otherwise. So it's deep, it's really deep, but it is as closer than you think in terms of what a business analyst would do. So I hope that provided a bit more clarity in simple terms on who a business or BA. So BA is business analyst. So that's the full meaning of the word BA. The business analyst, and it's a role in the tech space that do not require any form of coding. So Joey, please leave
Brilliant.
me a message.
Thank you, Tayo. So also just think about the fact that a business analyst job is really to move our organization forward, right? Every business starts because they want to make money, they want to change life. But to do that, they need people, they need system, they need processes. Now, sometimes systems are not optimized, right? Meaning that the software they're using is not performing the way it needs to perform to deliver value to the customer, or it has outgrown the needs, or the company has outgrown the features of that software, right? So they need to definitely improve the software. And in that case, a business analyst will like, oh, diagnose the problem. Why is this software not working? Okay, maybe we should replace it. Look for the similar software that can solve that problem. Or a process. Maybe think about account opening process. You go to the bank, you want to open an account. You see long queues and delays, and it takes 72 hours to get an account open. That's a system and process problem, right? It needs to be solved, else customers will be frustrated, right? So a business analyst will analyze, okay, what are the things that are delaying this account opening process? Is this the system? Is it process? Is it the people that are not approving stuff quickly enough? And begin to document and begin to ask questions, right? With the aim of solving that problem. So as much as you know how to engage with people, so ask the right question, document processes, you'll be able to then brainstorm ideas on how to solve that problem, right? And that's what the premise of what you do, so that if effectively you're helping the organization, delight their customer, and in turn make more money, become more efficient. And that's why they pay you, right? So that's the idea. And because of that, just going to Obed question. So our program is 3 in 1. It's business analyst, project management, scrum master, product management, kind of program. So the idea here, and all of those roles may not make sense, but project management is like, think about event planner, how they organize with vendors, to deliver on an event, right? So you, as a event planner, you need to liaise with the DJ, the decorator, the caterer, all of those people. They need to bring things at a particular time. The decor for the event venue must be done before the event start, right? Before DJ, food, everything. So planning that process is project management as well, right? In layman terms. So that's like what a project manager does as well for businesses, for projects. So product management is also around, oh, there's a software we want to build so that it can solve this problem. Who is going to document the requirement of the software, and really document why the software needs to exist? All of those kind of things is what product management or product managers do. So our program teaches you all the concept, tools, techniques, right, that would allow you to be able to do these 3 roles and more, right? Because they are intertwined skills. And effectively, when you're done with the program, you have so much skills that you can then go and position and apply to any of those jobs. And those jobs have thousands of opportunities. So that is why that's our approach. So it's not just BA skill you'll be learning a bit of project management, product management, business analysis, and Scrum Master as well, which is like project management. So I hope that answered your question, Obed. Hopefully it did. But thank you so very much for everyone for joining. If you've got no more question, we would wind it down now. If you want to join us, please check out our Instagram, send us a message, or you can get our number and send us a WhatsApp. It's on screen now, or check our Instagram basically, or just send us a message, any platform, right? Leave a comment on YouTube, wherever you're watching, or LinkedIn. I'm sure the team are going to reach out to you. So really excited to be able to have this conversation with you all. I hope that it was valuable to you, and we'll all have a shift in mindset of what is possible, that there's a
Thank
lot
you.
of opportunities for us. Let's not leave money on the table. Let's be in careers that support our long-term vision and does not drain our energy. We just want to do effective work. We add value, but then we protect our health, our relationship, our finances, and every other thing that is important to us. Thank you so much, Tayo.
Amazing. Thank you all so much. Really, really appreciate doing Obed, Esther, Emma, every single person, Amarachi, Innocent. Thank you for spending your Saturday with us, and we hope that you guys found this valuable. If you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to reach out to us on any of these platforms, and we'll definitely, definitely respond to you as soon as possible. But we remain very, very humble, and thank you so much for your time, and God bless.
Thank you, amazing people. Speak soon. Bye. Yeah, Obed would send us a message. We'll answer all the other ones. Thank you.